Have you ever looked at your hand and noticed something that felt significant? Perhaps a small crescent shape below your fingers, or an M carved silently into the paths of your palm? These aren't accidents. These are quiet whispers from the universe, subtle signs that your journey is not random. The patterns written on your hands are not mere coincidences. Across ancient civilizations, from the sages of India to the mystics of Egypt, symbols in the palm were recognized as messages from the divine realm. If your hand carries both the crescent and the letter M, you haven't just been marked, you've been remembered. These aren't just features. They are invitations, signatures, etched into you as signs of higher calling and spiritual sensitivity. Whether you've noticed these marks your entire life or only discovered them today, this moment is your awakening. You've begun to notice. That is no small thing. Awareness is the first spark of transformation. The moment you begin to ask, why do I feel this? Or what does this mean? Your soul was already opening. That small curve beneath your fingers, that M stitched from the lines of your life, they've called to you in silence. You've tried to explain them. Perhaps people rolled their eyes or told you not to overthink, but something deep within you couldn't ignore it. That quiet knowing that something about you is different, that something inside you is waiting to be unlocked. You weren't wrong. These signs are not meaningless. The crescent symbol has always been linked to sacred feminine wisdom, inner perception, and spiritual attunement. Not everyone has it, but those who do are more than just aware, they're receptive to energy that most can't feel. You may find yourself feeling things others can't explain. The mood in a room, the thoughts behind someone's smile, dreams that feel more like warnings or visions than imagination. You're not imagining, you're sensing, you're connected. And the M, it's not just a shape, it's a message, a symbol of a messenger, a wayfinder, a soul born not to follow, but to guide. Individuals with this letter woven into their palm are often endowed with profound discernment, unwavering strength, and a mission that may take time to fully realize. This is not a fantasy, it's vibration, and your energy is tuned to a frequency that doesn't match the ordinary. That's why you may feel uncomfortable with superficial conversations, meaningless jobs, or people who can't understand you. You're not broken, you're being prepared. Your discomfort isn't rejection, it's redirection. The universe has always been nudging you toward your deeper self. You are not here to follow. You're here to illuminate. You were born with a spiritual signature. Once you acknowledge it, everything begins to align. Deep within you, there's a voice, a quiet one. It doesn't shout, it nudges. It speaks when you're still, when something feels just a little off or profoundly right. That's not anxiety. That's not overthinking. That's intuition. And if you have the crescent on your palm, that voice is your companion. Not everyone will understand this level of awareness. It's not about being emotional, it's about being energetically tuned. And tuning in means walking through the world differently. The crescent, in spiritual traditions, is a portal to the unconscious, to the realms where insight is born before it becomes reality. You might feel someone's hidden motives without them saying a word. You might feel an inner resistance toward a choice without knowing why. That's not paranoia, it's divine guidance. Your soul is remembering truths that your mind hasn't yet processed. The modern world doesn't teach us to trust this inner compass. We're told to be rational, logical, measured, and yet, how many times have you ignored your instincts, only to say later, I knew it? That crescent is your reminder. Your inner knowing is not a mistake. It is sacred technology. When you learn to treat your intuition not as a backup plan, but as your primary guide, your life transforms. You'll begin to walk, not with fear, but with clarity. You'll stop seeking validation from others and begin following the map that's already been drawn inside of you. The inner voice you hear, it's not an accessory, it's your compass. And now is the time to listen. Turn your hand gently and observe. Do you see it? That bold letter M, formed by the crossroads of your heart, your thoughts, your life force. That isn't an accident. It's a marker, a spiritual imprint, a divine contract etched in flesh. The M rarely appears without purpose, and when it does, it's usually found on those who refuse to live a shallow life. These are the seekers. The ones who were always asking why as children. The ones who never felt quite satisfied by easy answers. Maybe you were labeled as too intense, too emotional, too curious. But what others called rebellion was your soul awakening. People with this mark are born to initiate change. Not always in grand ways, not always with titles or applause, but through authenticity, inner clarity, and unwavering presence. You are not here to live quietly in the background. You are here to walk through storms and emerge with wisdom that helps others find shelter. You're the kind of person who shatters illusions simply by standing in truth. The M on your palm is your reminder that your struggles weren't wasted. Your pain gave you perspective. Your setbacks taught you resilience, and your soul didn't. Sign up for comfort. It signed up for impact. If you've ever felt out of place, it's because you weren't meant to fit into something smaller than your calling. Your energy has always had gravity. People feel it. Some are drawn to you instinctively. Others distance themselves without knowing why. Don't take this personally. It's not rejection, it's recognition. Your energy doesn't whisper. It speaks before you do, and people sense it. When your vibration is high, when you're aligned with purpose, you can't be ignored. You become a mirror. Your presence reveals what others have buried, and that kind of presence doesn't allow people to remain asleep. It awakens them, or it pushes them away, and both are gifts. You've probably noticed how people confide in you without understanding why, or how certain relationships just fall away. That's not coincidence. That's alignment. That's your soul clearing space. Your energy is like a tuning fork. It either brings harmony or exposes dissonance. And while this power may feel isolating at times, it's also sacred. You are not here to silence your light so others can remain comfortable in the dark. You are here to shine. Regardless of who stays or walks away, your crescent speaks of divine connection. Your M speaks of divine duty, and together, they turn your energy into a lighthouse. And lighthouses don't beg ships to arrive. They simply stand and shine. Whether the seas are calm or the waves are wild, so allow the flow of life to come and go. What belongs will feel like gravity. What leaves was never meant to remain. Your only job is to shine unapologetically, because the world needs your frequency now more than ever. If your hand carries both the crescent and the M, understand this: your hands are not ordinary. They are vessels, channels of subtle energy. Whether through your words, your presence, or your touch, you affect others deeply. You might not even realize it, but people feel lighter around you. They breathe easier. They open up, not because you give them answers, but because your energy gives them space. You've been healing people long before you knew what healing meant. This is not fantasy. This is inheritance. A sacred gift etched into your being, invisible for those with eyes to see. Some come to you not just for advice, but for peace. They might not know why they feel better, but they always do. That's the frequency of compassion. And when compassion is real, it vibrates, it repairs, it restores. You weren't taught this. You simply carry it. And yet, with such power comes sacred responsibility. Not everything you touch is meant to be carried. Just because you can help doesn't mean you must. Many souls who carry the vibration of healing fall into the trap of depletion, not because they lack strength, but because they lack boundaries. Your energy is valuable. Your peace is sacred. You are not a fixer of all problems. You are a reminder of light. You're here to reflect possibility, not to carry everyone's pain. So choose your connections wisely. Choose your focus with Intention. Let your light be shared, not stolen. There is wisdom in conservation. Your energy isn't meant for everyone. It's meant for those who are ready, and it flows strongest when you protect it. Your ability to uplift can show up in many forms. Maybe you heal through words, through writing, through music, through silence, through simple presence. Whatever your method, it's time to stop doubting it. Stop brushing it aside. You are a transmitter of light, a catalyst for remembrance, a guide for those lost in distraction. And this truth isn't just something you carry, it's something you are. The more you resist it, the more tired you'll feel. The more you embrace it, the more aligned you'll become. Because true power isn't about control, it's about clarity. And your clarity will guide others, not by force, but by example. Many with markings like yours find peace in solitude. Not because they fear the world, but because they hear things in silence that the world drowns out. When you retreat, you're not escaping, you're recharging. The outside noise is loud, and your spirit speaks in quiet tones. That's why stillness is not optional, it's necessary. In a world that glorifies noise, urgency, and attention, your pull toward quiet can feel like resistance. But it's not resistance, it's remembrance. Your soul doesn't grow in chaos. It blossoms in calm. And the crescent on your palm is your proof that you're sensitive not by chance, but by design. You feel deeply because you were born to understand what others ignore. You sense shifts before they're spoken. You carry the emotions of others, like echoes in your nervous system. That's not weakness, that's awareness. And when you protect that sensitivity, when you honor your need for stillness, you regain your strength, insight, clarity, intuitive nudges. None of that arrives through noise. It comes when you pause, when you breathe, when you listen. Sup. The next time your heart asks you to retreat, honor it. The space you seek is not avoidance, it's alignment. The silence you crave is not emptiness, it's sacred ground. The pause between action is where truth gathers. Let others chase chaos. You are built for inner peace. You move differently. You speak with intention. You sense with depth. That is your gift. And that gift doesn't need to shout. It shifts the room simply by being present. Many won't understand your silence, but that's not your burden to carry. You didn't come here to be explained. You came to be expressed. So speak when it matters. Move when it's real. Your stillness is not passive. It is powerful. The crescent and the M are not decorations. They are declarations. Proof of a spiritual contract, one you agreed to long before your first breath. You may not remember signing it, but your soul does. Every time your heart aches for something more, every time you feel that inner fire, the call to rise, to guide, to serve. These markings confirm that your presence here is no accident. Your birth wasn't random. Your life isn't a series of coincidences. It is a response to a cosmic promise. You chose this timeline, this body, these experiences, not to be punished but to be prepared. The pain, it wasn't meaningless. It was a forging. The ones who hurt you, they weren't accidents. They were mirrors. The reason you never fully fit in, why comfort always felt temporary, because you were never meant to settle. You were meant to stretch. You're not here for comfort. You're here for contribution. That's why small talk drains you. That's why surface-level goals never satisfy you. Your contract calls for more. You are here to shift vibration, to awaken what's asleep, to guide others toward the truth they've forgotten. You feel it, don't you? That pulse under your skin. That knowing you're meant for something deeper. That restlessness that refuses to be silenced. It's not ambition. It's remembrance. A soul of old promise whispering. You said yes before. You came. Now it's time to rise. The signs on your hand are not warnings. They are awakenings. You don't need to become anyone. You need only to remember who you already are. And when you start walking in alignment with that truth, everything changes. Signs begin to appear, often quickly. Repeating numbers on clocks 1:11, las 4:44, las 3:33. Unexpected encounters. Thoughts you think just moments before someone speaks them aloud. These aren't random. They're messages. The universe speaks in symbols. And when you tune in, it speaks louder. You're not imagining it. You're finally noticing. Because as your awareness sharpens, the veil thins. What once looked like coincidence now feels like coordination. What used to be dismissed as weird now feels like sacred timing. The synchronicities are confirmations. Yes, you're on the path. Yes, you're listening. Yes, the universe is guiding you. And the more you lean in, the more obvious the signs become. You'll find meaning in lyrics, guidance in dreams, and clarity in moments of stillness. Even your hardships will begin to make sense. The detours, the delays, they weren't failures. They were redirections, hidden gifts wrapped in temporary confusion. And here's the key. Stop doubting. Stop brushing these signs aside. The more you treat synchronicity as sacred, the more your life will align with divine flow. You were never alone. You were just distracted. Now, you're tuned in. And now that you're listening, truly listening, you'll begin to move not by logic, but by alignment. Not by pressure, but by presence. The more you trust this unseen current, the more you'll flow. And in that flow, life becomes less about control and more about connection. Less about doing and more about being. One of the deepest and most difficult lessons on this spiritual path is realizing that not everyone will walk beside you. And if your palm carries both the crescent and the sacred M, chances are you've already felt it. People disappearing without reason. Distances forming in one's close connections. Relationships that couldn't survive your transformation. It hurts. But hear this with clarity. Divine markings often bring divine separation. This is not punishment. This is protection. When your energy begins to rise, when your awareness expands, your frequency changes, and not everyone can match that shift. It's not because you've become too much. It's because your soul is preparing for the next level. And anyone that no longer aligns with that frequency will naturally begin to fall away. It's not personal. It's energetic. You're not better than anyone, but your energy is no longer compatible with fear, with gossip, with falsehood. You are being cleansed, elevated, aligned, and that alignment requires space. Space for clarity, space for expansion, space for those who are meant to meet you where you're headed, not where you've been. It's natural to grieve, to miss what once was. But understand, some souls were never meant to walk the full path with you. They came to teach, to mirror, to awaken something, and, once their role was fulfilled, they moved on. Not out of cruelty, but out of completion. When you begin stepping fully into your mission, the journey becomes more refined. Not because you're closing off, but because you're clearing out. Not from ego, but from necessity. Energetic sovereignty isn't selfish. It's sacred. You cannot carry your purpose and everyone else's weight at the same time. Let them go, gently, with love. Bless the chapters that are ending, and trust that what is leaving your life is making space for something greater to arrive. If it's fading, it's not rejection. It's redirection. You are not abandoning them. You are simply refusing to abandon yourself. Your path might look lonely at times, but you are never alone. And the ones meant for your energy will not fear your rise. They will rise with you. Let go. Let purpose lead. Now if you have these signs on your palm, consider this your invitation to activate your potential consciously. You've always had the gift. But now it's time to cultivate it. Begin with stillness, with meditation. Let your breath become your anchor. Let silence become your sanctuary. Meditation isn't about escaping the world, it's about returning to your center. Your soul's frequency becomes clearer in quiet. From that space, guidance emerges, intuition sharpens, doubt softens, and your spiritual compass becomes visible. Pair your meditation with journaling. Don't just write to record, write to receive. Let your thoughts pour out without censorship. Let your hand become the channel between your heart and your higher self. Insights will come. Patterns will reveal themselves. The fog will lift. Journaling allows your unconscious to speak in plain sight. Make it sacred. Make it consistent. Surround yourself with light. Seek those who remind you of your truth, not your trauma. People who ignite your growth, not those who demand your shrinking. Energy is contagious, and who you spend time with either amplifies your path or dims it. Choose carefully. Say yes to spiritual learning, whether through books, mentorship, courses, or life itself. Remain a student. You're not here to have all the answers. You're here to remain curious, open, and humble enough to keep learning. The unseen realms speak in symbols. Learn their language. Honor your path by deepening your understanding of it. And above all, say no clearly, firmly, and unapologetically to what drains you. To people who confuse love with control. To commitments that feel like burdens. To anything that dims your inner light. You are not required to exhaust yourself in the name of service. Your gifts are too valuable for that. This is your time to release the doubt, the guilt, the fear. Step into your power fully. You weren't given these markings as decoration. They are tools, they are signals, they are keys, and your soul knows how to use them. You were not sent here to hide. You were born to activate, to shift the energy in every room you walk into, to speak not just with words, but with presence. Your vibration is healing. Your compassion is alchemy. Your silence is wisdom. Your awareness is a gift to the world. You don't have to be famous to be impactful. You just have to be aligned. Every thought you purify, every emotion you transmute, every act of truth you live ripples outward, and those ripples matter. You are here to help others remember who they are, just by being who you truly are. And that is no small mission. So take a breath, ground yourself, and begin. If you see the crescent and the M on your palm, understand this. These are sacred reminders of a mission that began long before your birth. You are part of a lineage of light bearers, energetic bridges between the physical and the spiritual. You didn't arrive by mistake. You arrived in perfect timing. You are one of the awakened, one of the remembered. And now, the signs on your hand are activating. They are stirring a deeper memory in your spirit, an ancient promise. Send me, I'll go. And now, you've gone. You are here. Your journey begins again. Every time you honor that inner knowing. Every time you trust your gifts. Every time you surrender to your soul's truth, you fulfill the agreement your spirit made. This isn't about perfection. It's about presence, alignment, courage, and trust. The more you say yes to that inner call, the louder the universe echoes back. Yes, this is it. Keep going. And in that alignment, miracles begin to unfold. People find you. Opportunities open. Guidance arrives right on time. You begin to live in rhythm with the divine. The ordinary becomes sacred. The painful becomes purposeful. And your path, your true path, reveals itself, step by step. This is the journey of the marked. This is your awakening. Let us give thanks, source of all light and life. We thank you for those whose hands carry the signs of awakening, for those who bear the crescent and the M. Bless them with strength, with clarity, and with unshakable faith. Guide their steps, protect their energy, and remind them always that they are seen. They are supported, and they are never alone. May their presence bring healing. May their words bring truth. May their lives serve as bridges between heaven and earth. And may their light shine boldly, for the world needs it now more than ever. Amen. Now go. Walk in your truth. Radiate with certainty. The universe walks beside you, and your time to rise has arrived.